All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to those for elect. I'm the brother Yeshua.
Tamayim.
And I just want to come, quick topic, basic lesson through the spirit and power, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the Most High, who even called God, for his only begotten Son, who even called Jesus Christ. And I just want to get into the topic of, I was meditating on it earlier, and you just going into like our people, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, yet to realize why we in the predicament that we're in. Our people don't see what's going on. They don't understand that all this that came down on our people from slavery, all right, us being coming over here on cargo slave ships, was the doings of the Lord. Because what? We are his chosen people, all right? And we made a covenant with him by blood that we was going to follow his law, statute, commandments, And we broke those covenants. So we're going to go through some scriptures, and, Lord willing is edifying.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Right.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power,
right,
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
You see that? So the Lord said if we will hearken diligently unto his words, his laws, his statutes, and commandments, that the Lord was going to set us on high above all people upon the earth. All right, continue on.
It reads, and all these blessings shall come on thee,
right,
and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
Yeah, so you'll be blessed, all right? We will be a chosen people on high, Blessed should I be in the city, Our families taken care of, all right? We will be in our land right now, Jerusalem, Israel, We will be fed, with abundance, But we broke those things. We broke those laws, statute, commandments.
I'm gonna jump to verse 15.
Come on.
This is verse 15. It reads, but it shall come to pass, if thou will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power,
right,
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
right,
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Yeah, so for breaking those laws, statutes, and commandments, all these curses shall come upon thee. And when you read the whole Deuteronomy 28, 15 on down, it goes into the curses. But I'm gonna get one of the key ones. Deuteronomy 28, I think it's 64.
Con.
And then we get the 68 one too.
Con.
And if you got anything, flow through the spirit.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64.
Right.
It reads, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
And that's what the Lord did, all right? He scattered the Israelites from one end of the earth unto the other, all right? Amongst all these other nations. Hence the Israelite foreigners, all right? You're going to have Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? The Lord's people that's going to come out of every nation, all right? That looking like the other nations, the so-called Chinese, which is the Moabites, the so-called white man, which is Esau, the so-called Japanese, which is Ammon, the so-called Africans, all right, which is him. The Lord scattered us amongst all these nations because we broke his law, statute, commandments, all right? And one of the main ways he did it was get Deuteronomy 28 and 68 was by ships, all right?
And this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Right.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And what's Egypt representing? Bondage, all right? Slavery, all right? When the Lord had us in slavery under the Pharaoh in Egypt, the Lord said, I'm going to bring you into Egypt again with ships, all right? When you look at or you go to Google map, and you look at the landmass of Israel, and you look at Egypt, you could walk into it. So what is that talking about? It's talking about the transatlantic slave trade, all right?
Right.
Another scripture in Deuteronomy, when the Lord said you should have a yoke of iron upon your neck, all right? Just look up yoke of iron. You had the southern tribes going into captivity. You had the southern tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is the so-called Negroes, Haitians, and West Indians, all right? With yokes of irons on their neck, all right? The northern kingdom was already on the side.
Right.
But they went into slavery as well, because you had Christopher Columbus, all right? That damn devil come over here and slaughter the Native Americans, all right? And Simeon and, Seminole Indian tribes. They came over here with the conquistadors, all right? The Spaniards, all right, and they did our people dirty, and they was sending some of them over to Spain, you know, and over to Europe, you know. It was a transatlantic slave trade, you know. You got something else?
I got a quick one.
Go ahead.
This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Yeah, going back to represent Egypt representing bondage, all right? And this is the modern day Egypt. It tell you that in Revelation 11:8. This place shall be spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt, all right? Sodom for what? All the homosexuality and demonic acts that's partake in America, which is Babylon as well. And Egypt, because once again, the Israelites is in bondage, and as well as the customs of Egypt, all right? You got the pyramid on the dollar bill, you know? You got something else?
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna finish it off. And I'm gonna read it again. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
You got something?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Yeah, thou shalt see it no more again, meaning our what? Our land, all right? We wasn't going to see Jerusalem anymore, right? Starting from when it had to be that great falling away, all right? When 7 AD, when the Romans sacked Jerusalem, all right? And some of Israel fled, all right? They fled into the wilderness, to the western parts of Africa, all right? And they built societies over there, all right? That was the beginning of that, you know? Read that again.
Con, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into ships, into Egypt again with ships,
right?
By the way whereof I spake unto thee,
right?
Thou shalt see it no more again, and they shall ye be sold unto your enemies.
Yeah, we were sold unto our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, all right? Slave men and slave women on them auctioning blocks, all right? Continue.
And it reads, and no man shall buy you.
No man shall buy you, meaning no man shall redeem you, all right? No man shall redeem you, all right? We was brought back by the blood of Yahweh Shah, through the shedding of his blood, all right? To bring us back to the Father for the remission of sins, you know?
Right.
No man could do that. That brother got that. He got the scripture.
This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6.
Right.
It says, ye were sold to the nations.
You see that? You see that? So this is why we here. We were sold to the nations, right?
Not for your destruction.
Right.
But because ye moved Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah to wrath.
You see that? We moved the Lord to wrath because we broke his law, statute, commandments. Go ahead.
You were delivered onto the enemies.
You was delivered onto your enemies. And our chief enemy is the so-called white man. That's why he got his foot on our neck to this day. All right, we got to pay taxes. All right, he's trying to he implemented that jab that he got our people. He made our people take. All right, and ultimately, what he wants to hit you with that MOTB. All right, that digital oil. He wants to make you a perpetual slave.
Right.
Right.
And this is, I got another one. That's Baruch 3 and 8.
Right.
It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Right.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
Right.
And to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers.
Right.
Which departed from the Lord our power.
Right. You got it, right?
Right. But that's basically goes into, that's why we still going through this thing today. You know, we're in a captivity. That's why things are going the way they're going. That's why we're not supposed to be out here trying to basically live like we in the kingdom.
Right.
You know, we were still in captivity. We waiting for the Lord to come back so we could be out of our captivity. And until that happens, we're going to be in captivity. It's never going to be fully right out here.
Right.
You know, that's why the scriptures say, arise and depart. This is not your rest, because this is not our rest.
Yep.
You know, you can't find no with solitude here. You know, you can't find no rest here. It says, and be subject to payments according to the iniquities of our fathers. Now, we know that we are our fathers, you know, through reincarnation. But yeah, we subject to payments, man. This is why you constantly, you know what I mean? Under constant oppression.
Right.
You know?
Did you finish that scripture when it said we moved the Lord to wrath?
Yeah, that was Baruch
4 and 6?
Yeah.
Did you finish that?
Yeah.
All right. You got something?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we here, you know? Because we moved the Lord to wrath, all right? And this is our punishment, but our punishment is soon up, all right? Because we seeing what's taking place now. We're seeing the downfall of the so-called white man, all right? We're seeing the downfall of the so-called white man. We're seeing his economic collapse. We seeing that the minds of the people, they're losing their mind. We seeing the uproars of the people, the rumors of war. All right. So this is what's going on. You got something?
Yeah, this is Baruch chapter 2. I'm gonna start from verse 20. I'm gonna just get to the point. I'm gonna start from verse 29. It reads, "If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them."
Right.
Verse 30, "For I knew that they would not hear me,
Right.
because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves."
Got it.
You know, and you know our people, like the brothers going into earlier.